Greetings and welcome, folks, to a very special edition of Match Play with Ray Adams. You know, it's Masters Month, so of course I'm wearing my Masters green. You'll see more of that later. But I have a very special edition today because of my guest. And immediately you're seeing that we have the wonderful Peter Kostis, one of the great golf teaching coaches, well, maybe in history. If we had a Mount Rushmore, I think Peter would be on it, along with another 8 or 10. And then we have golf's, well, every man's golf. Every person loves Gary McCord. And thank you both for being with me.
I think it's appropriate that you have Gary on during Masters Week.
Well, it is, because we're going to talk about that. And I know you have a Greg Norman story from the Masters as well. I'm shocked, totally shocked, folks, that these two, after being released from CBS, I'm saying that in a wonderful way, by the way, because you've gone on to do great things, and we're going to talk about that too, that they weren't called by Live Golf. Peter, let me start with you. Why weren't you called by Greg Norman and Live?
Well, it goes back most likely to the 1996 Masters. It's a little bit of a long story, but I'll shorten it up a little bit. Greg had his grip changed on Tuesday of that week, strengthened. And he went out and played Thursday, played great, had a 2-shot lead. I noticed that on Friday his grip kind of reverted a little bit back to the weaker grip that he had earlier in the week.
Yes.
He didn't play as well, but he had a 4-shot lead. And then I noticed on Saturday his grip got almost back to where it was before the change on Tuesday. Didn't really play well, missed it both ways, had a 6-shot lead. So everybody thought that with a 6-shot lead, it was going to be, you know, his tournament. I'm walking back to the TV compound after we're off the air, and that was the first year Golf Channel was there. Brian Hammonds was getting ready to do a stand-up. We talked, and he said, well, looks like Sharky's going to win his green jacket, finally. I said, maybe.
You were doubtful.
I was doubtful because I had seen the changes. And one thing you can't do at Augusta is miss it both ways.
Yeah.
One-way miss, you can play. I said, look, you know, his grip, and he could be in for a long day. We don't know. And that was it. And I thought the conversation was off the record, but I never said so. And so Brian did a stand-up back to Orlando, and they asked him the mood of the people there, and he said, I think everybody thinks Greg's going to win his first green jacket, except, interestingly enough, just moments ago I talked to CBS's Peter Kostis, who has his doubts. Nobody was watching Golf Channel back then. It was their first year. So they bought a time buy on the local CBS affiliate in Augusta. Long story short, Greg was watching the CBS network and saw the comment by me.
Did he approach you?
Didn't approach me. He called. I walked into the compound the next morning. As Gary knows, Frank Tricinian, our Ayatollah leader, yelled at me, Kostis, get in here now.
Oh, you've had that yell from Tricinian too.
Everybody. Yeah. And so I walked in. He goes, did you tell the whole world Norman was going to choke today? I said, no, I don't think so. I mean, if I had, I would have remembered that. We pieced it all together.
Unbelievable.
And he goes, well, I just hung up the phone with him, and he wants to put his hands around your throat.
Okay.
And so I walked out. Frank threw me out of his office, but that's a minor detail. I walked back in. I said, by the way, Frank, if all he has to do on the most important day of his golf life is to call you and complain about me, he's in bigger trouble than I thought. Yeah. I didn't say it exactly that way, but this is a
And what ended up happening, by the way? How did it play out?
He lost to Faldo.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so there's a little bit of tension there still. So
did you ever have a talk with him later?
As luck would have it.
And fix his grip?
Gary was at Hilton Head the next week, and I was walking with Norman's group the very next week.
Okay.
So we had our come to Jesus.
He did that. He pointed at you.
Yeah,
okay.
And I pointed back.
You're from Maine.
Correct.
And you went to college on a football scholarship.
100 years ago. Single wing. No, it's not that
Football?
Old. Yeah.
How'd you go from football to golf, Peter?
It just hurt my knee, had to quit.
And you decided, okay, let me play golf.
It was a Division II school, and I needed to keep my scholarship, and if I played any other varsity sport, I could keep my scholarship.
So you went over to golf and you were that good immediately?
No.
Oh.
But the pursuit of getting better is probably what made me a decent coach.
Yeah. Garden Grove, California, our buddy over here, Mr. Gary McCord. Well, we've got to get you from Garden Grove to to golf. You threw your shoulder out being a baseball pitcher. How'd you get to golf?
It was about, I went to Garden Grove High School as a freshman, so that had to be in 1963, maybe 63. My dad got transferred to Riverside in Garden Grove, 60 miles.
Yeah.
And I didn't know anybody in Riverside. So, and my arm was, I blew it up pitching. So I couldn't get my elbow above my shoulder, or my arm would go out of place. So I went there and my mom was getting lessons at Garden Grove High School, and I went out there as a kid and was whacking it while she was getting a lesson. Well, that's interesting. So when we went to Riverside, my parents just took me over to a place called Fairmont Park, which is a 9-hole, all the old guys.
Well, that's fine.
And they dropped me off, at 8 in the morning, and I'd play golf all day. And they'd pick me up at 5.
Yeah, my parents dropped me at Papago, same thing all day.
Figured out, the greens were made up of dandelions and stuff, and it wasn't very good, but it was the idea of just going out and figuring out how to swing and hit it. So that's basically how I got started on it, because
and then
I didn't know anybody.
You played 18 years on the PGA Tour, I think?
It's
some amount of time.
I started in 74, and I quit playing the senior tour I started the senior tour in 2000, so 2010. So how many years is that? 74. It's a lot more than that. How many years is that?
Wow.
26 and
30.
26 and 10 is 36.
Well, but wait, you went to the Champions Tour when you turned 50, and you won over there.
Right.
Because Hogan made fun of you that you'd been out there forever and never won.
Well, that was on the regular tour.
That was a whole deal.
A lot of people.
And you threw down with Ben Hogan and wanted to have a putting challenge because you said that you could beat him at putting. When we come back, we're going to talk about that, another Masters story from Gary and Peter, and we got to talk about the podcast Off Their Rockers. Stay with me.
We'll be back with more match play right after these messages.
Baseball? Nah. Football? Done it. I think I'm going to go after the PGA Tour.
Bo, you're going to need the right equipment company.
I think I got that.
Tour Edge backs all their clubs with a lifetime warranty.
I know.
They ship all their premium custom clubs in 48 hours.
I know.
All their premium clubs are hand-built in the USA.
I know.
Tour Edge has won 35 times out here.
Guys, I know.
Pound for pound, nothing comes close.
We're like any normal family. We just get shorter wait times because we buy and book online at discounttire.com.
So easy.
Which gives us more time for things like...
Oh, come on, Mom.
Ready? And it's all thanks to Kyle. Thank you. Get 30% shorter average wait time when you buy and book online at discounttire.com.
Let's get you taken care of.
You've heard me talk about Square's golf shoes and how they help you hit the golf ball further. And many of you are saying, oh, come on, Faldo, give us a break. How is that possible? But yes, they do. And it's proven with science.
What we noticed with the Square shoes was the shoe keeps the pressure in a more stable fashion towards inside of the trail heel, allowing pressure to get to the lead side, generating much more club head speed and distance gain.
Visit squares.com. Change your shoes, change your game. Squares, the distance golf shoe.
And now back to match play with your host, Ray Adams.
Welcome back, folks. I'm with Peter Kostis, Gary McCord, and we've got to get right back where we were. Now, Ben Hogan asked you, if you're such a good putter, why didn't you win? What was your response to that?
Well, I mean, I went, one day we're sitting there and we're doing Colonial. And as you know, Shady Oaks is just down the street. Peter and I go there, play all the time.
Yeah.
And Frank Circanian asked me, do you want to go have lunch with Hogan? And it's Ken Venturi, me, and you if you want to go. I said, yeah, without a doubt. So we go there, and And we start talking, and Hogan didn't know me, doesn't know me or anything else.
Yeah.
So there's Frank Chirkinian, who knows very well, and Ken Venturi, who really knows well. So they're talking, and every once in a while he would turn to me and he goes, "What do you do?" And I go, and I'd answer him. As soon as I answer him, he'd turn to start talking again to Venturi. And I'd go, and then he'd start talking. So we played that game for a while. And then finally, after lunch and everything, he looked at me and he goes, "So you play the tour?" And I go, "Yeah." He says, "How long?" I said, "I played about 15 years now." He said, "What do you won?" And I went, again, I went like that. And he started talking to Ken again. And I went, okay, we're playing a game here. That's good. So he turned around, and before he even asked, he just turned around and I go, "I've never won." He goes, "Well, what are you doing out there then?" Which is perfect Hogan.
Believable.
Perfect Hogan.
So you went over to the Champions Tour when you turned 50. You won over there. And then from there, of course, you've had a long and storied career, both of you, with CBS as broadcasters. And we all know that CBS decided they wanted to make some changes. I can't remember what the words were, but after the changes, I thought they probably needed to bring them back because they're better than what anyway. So we won't go there. But you told me that Liv hasn't called you because the little tete-a-tete maybe with Greg Norman, but you've got a better gig, I think. You have your podcast now. And this is the newest thing going on in golf, and it's fantastic. I saw one of your episodes because it's filmed, so you can see them and hear them and watch them and laugh. And you're the straight man. Yeah. You're the solid coach and teacher. Yeah. And, of course, obviously, we know who the funny guy is, but he's a serious funny. And it's called Off Your Rockers. Or off of their rockers?
Kostis, McCord, off their rockers.
Off their rockers. And you're sitting in a rocking chair, and you are off your rockers and up off the rockers. And so you teach and you laugh and make us laugh. So what about this podcast? Tell me about it.
It was, once I got out and Peter and I were kind of let go, you got to do something. You got to do something. You got to keep the brain fired up. Yeah. So I was on Sirius Radio for a couple of years and just kind of learning that business. And the whole time I know Peter was doing nothing, and so I gave it 2 years just to okay. And then I saw that you're not going to make too much money, and so I got together with Peter and I said, "Let's do a podcast." Everybody else is. I don't know a soul on earth doesn't have their own podcast, so why not us?
Well, so I don't have one. I've got 2 radio shows that I do on Earth Radio, but it's not a podcast yet.
So you're busy. So that was the concept. And then Mike Abram, a friend of ours, does every commercial you've seen for infomercials for Golf Channel and everything else on everything.
Yes, he does.
He's over there in the corner.
He's over there.
So he's a perfect guy to have doing the tech stuff and our third wheel, so he can ask questions to us and just formulate something. Because the one thing we have is I was there for like 34 years. Peter was there for 30. We got 65 years of stories and a bunch of interesting things we think. And so that was the process.
You know where all the bodies are buried.
We have and we're not beholden to anybody.
Right.
In other words,
you can't be canceled.
No.
Only we can cancel ourselves.
And on screen, folks, you're going to see the way you can go find their podcast. We'll make sure we put that up. Now, we're Masters Month. This show is, of course, airing now. And I want you to tell us, because it's been told 1,000 times, and you asked when you were in the golf cart during your podcast that I saw recently, you asked him to tell the story of the Masters and how he was jettisoned from the Masters. And you told this story on our episode that you did on this TV show a few years ago, because we did the entire show with you. But I want to hear it again for the new folks and the new viewers, because you've got these magazines, you see Bikini Wax, you're at the Masters, greens are fast. Olazabal was out in the fairway speaking Spanish with his caddy. Take me from there.
So this is Sunday.
Yeah.
And Sunday late, and I was on 17 at the time, Sunday late, if you've got anything that's good, and let's say you start writing from the first tournament of the year, which was then, I think, the AT&T or whatever, and you start logging things in a computer. And I do that a lot. I write a lot and put it in the computer. I seldom use it. But if you do write, and you got something there you really like. You wait for Sunday late at Augusta because that's where everybody's watching.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting up there, and I've got next to me, for some conspicuous reason, they've got Neil Pilson sitting right where Peter is.
President of CBS Sports.
Yes.
President of CBS Sports with a red bat phone. And that bat phone goes down to the catacombs in the bottom underneath Augusta.
So
where
Commissioner Gordon
the head guy
to Batman.
is. Yes, he's down there. And so I'm sitting there and unperturbed as I go about my business. And just as Peter said, I've got magazines stacked like this. And I read them in commercial breaks, not to read them, but I get words. I just get 10 times, just reading words. I'm seeing words. And, you know, words all of a sudden spike something. And I don't know what's coming out. I really don't. But I saw that. Escondido, I'm reading it. Grape leaf wraps, cucumber fittings in your eyes, and all. And then it said bikini wax. And we go, okay, let's go down to 15. We come out of commercial. So I throw the thing down. And I'm sitting there watching, and here we go, Jose Maria Olazabal. He's down there with his caddy, who was his brother at the time. And the pin is back right at 17. And over the green, it's straight down the hill. You got, and instead of you're dead, as Peter said, everybody says, oh, he's dead, there, he's dead. So I rewrite, like Peter said it, I rewrite cliche. So, he's going to have a tag on his toe down there. He's on the slab. He's in the morgue. He's in a body bag. Whatever. That's not going to. It's just a euphemism for he's dead, right? It's nothing more. That's it.
He's in trouble.
So I said that, and then I said, and I said, what is caddy? Let me interpret, because he was speaking Spanish, obviously, and I speak zero Spanish, un poco. And I said, let me interpret. I said, his caddy's telling him, don't hit it over that green because that's in a body bag. And I said, he's going to play underneath it and somewhere to the left. Okay, so he hits it down there to the left, and he's got this. He's got this putt that goes up and down. You can't stop it. It's going 100 miles an hour.
Yeah.
So that's when I went click, bikini wax. At that point, I didn't think it just, I said, you know, Sunday late here, the one thing these guys, if they get out of position, these greens are so fast. In fact, I don't think they mow them. I think they bikini wax them. And I said, he's going to have no chance to get this within 10 feet, which he didn't. And
now let me stop you. I've got to ask this question to Peter. Hang on. If he would have said that at any other week, at any other tour event, he would have been fine. Yes or no?
Yes, and as a matter of fact, he was fine there. When it happened, there was no bat phone ringing.
Because the president laughed.
He laughed. Everything was fine until we got to Hilton Head the next week.
And there was a letter.
Correct.
And the letter from Tom Watson. Tell us what happened.
Well, I get in there and I say that and on Sunday and he's laughing. The cameraman is laughing. Okay, worked. You know, it's fast greens. Fast, that's fast. So nothing. And so we get there on Wednesday, I think we got there, and I'm, you know, we're fiddling around in the double wide in the compound. And Frank hears me at the front desk and he goes, McCord? And our secretary goes, yeah. He goes, tell him to get in here.
Oh, yeah.
So I go in there, and that's usually not good.
No.
Not when he yells at you, not good. And then he goes, close the door. Okay. So the guy closed the door, and he says, sit down. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. So I go, what? And he goes, and he just tosses a letter. So I get this thing. I read it. It's in pencil. And it's
in pencil.
I'm the Howard Stern of golf, and I should be eradicated. I shouldn't be doing telecast, blah, blah, blah.
And Tom Watson wrote the letter.
Tom Watson.
And he sent it to the Masters committee.
We don't know that, no.
We don't know that.
Didn't know that. The next question to Frank was, did you get this? Or did Augusta? He goes, I got it. I said, do you know if Augusta got it? He goes, I don't know. So we
Did
left
they
it at
ever
that.
get it? Did they ever get it? Do you know that?
Well, then Friday comes, same thing. Is that McCord? Get him in here. So he goes, close the door. Uh-oh.
We got a problem.
He goes, we got a problem. He said, Augusta has the letter too.
Oh.
I went, okay. I said, what do I do? He said, you're screwed. CBS will not back you in any way, shape, or form on this. It's your own fight. You stay above the fray. Now get out of here.
Yeah.
That was it.
And you did.
I did, yes. I stayed above the fray.
All right. Well, Peter Kostis and Gary McCord off their rockers. I'm joining them, but in the next segment, you're not going to want to move because Peter is going to give me a lesson, and I'm every man's amateur player. We're going to talk about the big stick and some other things. Gary will be with us. Don't move.
We'll be back with more match play right after these messages.
Introducing the newest addition to Zero Friction's Performance Arsenal. The Zero Friction Laser Pro Pistol Grip Rangefinder. The Laser Pro comes with a stable, pistol-shaped comfort grip that is lightweight with an easy-to-read scope. The device vibrates when you are zeroed in on your target and conforms with USGA and USGA handicap guidelines. Shoot on point without taking you out of the zone.
Golf only exists because it's fun.
What is special about golf is the relationships.
Being out there with your family, your friends, so many different chances and opportunities are presented from the game of golf.
Is brilliant. It's always first-class experiences. Courses that they run, they want it to be as good as possible, and it makes a big difference for the experience.
Why wouldn't you select Troon? You're selecting the best of the best. You know the quality you're getting, you know the experience you're getting. There's nobody better.
What's the one thing we always bring with us inside the golf cart? Our cell phones. Introducing the Phone Caddy from Desert Fox Golf. What makes the Phone Caddy so awesome is its sliding wings and adjustable faceplate. This allows for a perfect fit for any size phone, and you can slide your phone in and out no problem. Stuck in a cart with no GPS? There's an app for that, right inside your Phone Caddy. Keep your phone safe and at your fingertips. Get yours today at desertfoxgolf.com.
And now back to match play with your host, Ray Adams.
Welcome back, folks. I'm in the private teaching studio of Peter Kostis. And yes, Gary McCord is right over here. You'll see him. He'll be, well, nodding around a little bit from his rocker. But I'm going to get a private lesson from one of the great ones of all time, Peter Kostis. Peter, thank you so much. Can I hit one for you?
Please, go ahead.
And folks, you know I'm an average golfer, average handicapper. I don't get to play as often as I like. So this is what I've got for you, Peter. And then I can't wait for you to help me along. What do you think?
Cool. Let me have your club.
Okay.
And you please stand over here.
Yes, sir.
And here's your lesson. The golf swing, the club head goes back and forth. That's called lateral. It goes up, down, up. That's called vertical. And it comes off the target line, around the body, on the target line, around the body. That's called rotary.
Okay.
And most of the vertical should come from the hands and wrists. Most of the lateral should come from the arms. Most of the rotary should come from the body. Your problem is you're not turning your body hardly at all, or certainly not enough, especially for longer clubs. Sam Snead told me 100 years ago, he goes, son, there's only one thing in golf that you got to remember. Everything else is open for debate, but if you can't turn, you can't play. All right? So what we have to do is we have to teach you, I'm probably going to strengthen your grip a little bit. We have to keep you from rolling the hands and forearms because you're trying to fake your rotary. Right? I want the rotary coming from here. So come on back over here, get in your golf posture.
Okay.
And I got a little device here that I like to use all the time. Put it there.
Put it here.
Hold it on the ends.
Put it here.
Get in your golf posture.
This should be very athletic, by the way, ladies and gentlemen.
There's going to be pieces falling off here pretty soon. Now, we're going to make you turn.
Yes.
See, if I turn those shoulders,
wow.
What do you have to do? Get off your left heel. Raise your left heel a little bit, kick your left knee in. That gives you a little bit more range of motion.
Okay.
Right? And then we come forward, and we're going to rotate some more. See, you're off the right heel?
Yeah.
Good. So make me 3 or 4 swings.
Like this?
Just like that. Just back and forth. Turn this as much as you can. No. No, it's going to go on plane.
Oh.
Not up here.
Ah.
See,
so
there.
keep my hands in that same plane position.
Yep. And then we're going to come forward to there. You're going to feel more tilt this way.
Okay.
All right, so now go back. See if you can do it on your own.
See if I can do it on my own.
There. Now come forward.
Boy.
That's a whole different motion for you.
That's a whole different set of muscles even.
One more.
I'm feeling that one.
Wait till
Boy,
tomorrow.
I need to stretch too. We all do.
Wait till tomorrow.
Yeah.
Good. And go. One last one now and try and watch the ball while you do it.
What's that?
I was wondering where that was coming.
There you go. That's it. Okay, that's good. Good. Got it? Now give me a practice swing.
Looks like one of those guys on the aircraft carrier that's a signal caller when the airplane.
Okay.
Get over there.
Good. And remember I said the hands and arms go back and up, correct? So now that you start to turn.
I want to be here.
You're going to be up here now because you're turning more. You don't have to be down in here.
Ah.
Go ahead. Do it again.
Okay, so I'm coming to here.
There you go. Now go.
And I'm coming through here.
Good. One more time.
Yep. It's better.
Yep.
Boy, is that stretching me out.
Good. Have a go.
This is great.
Go ahead. Big turn, high hands.
Peter Kostis, a lesson?
Big turn, high hands, let it go. Better.
But I
see you developed more speed there, and so much so you lost your balance.
Did I?
You're going to have to learn how to counterbalance yourself in a second. Big turn, high hands. Bingo. There you go.
That felt pretty good.
There you go.
That really did. Peter, thank you so much for that lesson. Boy, you got me using some muscles that I didn't even know I had.
Yeah.
But boy, I sure need them. And I'm going to work on that stretching. And I need one of those gadgets over there to work with too.
We'll get you one of those.
Yeah. The great Peter Kostis giving Ray Adams a lesson. I so need it too. Peter Kostis, can you believe it? And Gary?
What did I screw up, Gary?
McCord, what did you think of my swing? Come on now. We want the truth.
Well, I didn't see a swing.
I didn't see it. There was no swing that he saw.
I sent a bunch of unrelated movements through that little exercise. But you know what? You can only get better, right?
There you go.
Only get better.
I can only go up. Hey, my putting saves me. That's why everybody wants me to be on their scramble team, because I can putt the ball. That's for sure. But between Gary McCord and Peter Kostis here in his private studio, make sure you tune into their podcast because they are off their rockers, Gary McCord and Peter Kostis. And also stay tuned to Match Play TV on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube for lots more to come.
AZ Turf & More is a family-owned and operated business for nearly a decade here in the Valley of the Sun, doing so many things in your backyard to make it the place that you really want it to be. Artificial turf, putting greens, travertine, pergolas, barbecues, fire features, pavers, and so much more.